Good evening humans, tyrannosaurusmoth here, and welcome to the monthly vlog for April 2022. Let's do this. So welcome again to April, and it's been a fairly even keel month. Stuff's being released, stuff that I have purchased or pre-ordered and stuff like that has kind of trickled out at a fairly even pace, which again has been nice. And yeah, except for these last couple of weeks where stuff's kind of started speeding up, and that makes sense because a lot of the stuff that was due this month is now starting to come out. And then the other half is being pushed to next month. So, kind of the natural flow is working as it normally does. So I hope the same has been true for every one of you out there, that you've been able to have your pre-orders come in at a reasonable rate, and finding stuff in the wild. And speaking of which, definitely continuing to see stuff show up on shelves. I'm seeing full shelves everywhere I go when I go on hunts, and not always what I'm looking for, but definitely often enough to keep me excited about it and definitely engaged in this hobby, which is always fun, and the reason we do it, right? So yeah, so that's good. And I guess specifically with my collections, some really good lightning collection came out this month. Finster, Piranha's Head, the Ninja White and Pink from Target were all released this month, and that's really cool because those were literally all fun figures. And the Ninja Pink review should be going up next week, I think, and then White will be some other time in the future. I've got this strange backlog, and now I'm doing reviews where every other review is a wrestling figure because there's so many being released. And that brings me to my next point, which is that an insane number of wrestling figures have come out in the past month. And I don't know if it's just because I'm more into it, so I'm noticing it a little bit more. But yeah, there's just like a crazy amount between Ultimate Edition Batista, the Legends Elite Collection 14 for WWE, AEW's Unmatched Dark Order Wave came out this month. On top of the reveals they did, I think that was this month. I don't think that was March. I could be mistaken though. Time doesn't make any sense anymore. But that actually works as a good segue into my final point, which is for future vlogs, I usually kind of just mill about in these intros, and I just don't know really what I'm doing, as I'm sure some of you could tell. So to give it more direction and kind of just have it feel more official and give me more of a goal, I'm actually going to focus this intro piece on just kind of toy news, what the reveals were for the month, certainly what I'm excited about. And yeah, so I'm gonna actually start taking notes as the month goes on. I need to remember this, so anyone hold this to me if you see me slipping on it. But yeah, I definitely want to kind of keep more, because a lot happens and I realize I just kind of let it go, and then I go to make my notes for the vlog and just it all goes away. So that being what it is, yeah, that's just so something I need to focus more on. So I guess with all of that being said, that wraps up the intro. So let's take a look at my notable acquisitions for the month of April right now. So notable acquisitions for April 2022. Like I said, there's a lot that came out between Lightning Collection, wrestling figures, and just some import stuff, and just everything. It's been really again, even though a steady flow, kind of overwhelming, because this was actually probably the hardest so far, just in terms of what I got to decide what was notable, because there's so much good stuff, and a lot of it kind of on the same plane for me. So starting off, first notable acquisition was the Target exclusive WWE Ultimate Edition Batista figure, and I do have a review of this up, and I will say, that as I say in that review, that I don't have any nostalgia for Batista, just because I was not watching wrestling at the time, was aware of who he was. I thought he looked impressive and stuff like that, but still wasn't watching. And I saw this go up, and I absolutely love the Ultimate Editions. That has absolutely secured me into collecting wrestling figures and just keeping my interest. And this one rules. This hits kind of all those base points of what makes this great. And it was very hard to find at first because was weird stuff with the street date, but I think that's been resolved. I don't think it's even shown up online yet still. I mean, the page is there, but So hopefully if you've wanted it, you found it, or if not, you will find it soon, because I still haven't seen one on a shelf. I had to ask an employee and they brought it out. So hopefully you find it if you're looking for it. I got my fingers crossed for you. So yeah, so that's that. Second one is actually McFarlane Toys Tyranid Gene Stealer, which is a Warhammer 40K, which I have there goes the stand. A property I have absolutely no knowledge of beyond seeing some of the designs. And I remember, back around the time I got my first job, I was like seeing some of the miniatures and stuff like that, like die-cast ones, and just thought they looked badass. But I mean, tabletop gaming, just not my thing. But I could not pass this up. Like, that's amazing. And I'll say, I haven't done the review of this one yet, but as I'm probably gonna mention in the review, and I'll just say it here, I've sold off all my McFarlane figures that are not monsters, like all the human ones. There's always just something that, like, I don't like the feel of the plastic. I don't like the way they pose. They look very stiff when they're in neutral position, and that's just my opinion. I mean, if you like the McFarlane stuff like that, I'm not taking any digs at. This is just what my perception of them are. However, when it comes to monsters, I think the McFarlane line just absolutely destroys it. And yeah, because between Violator and this, I mean, just what I want out of monster figures. So that's just really cool to have and see. And yeah, I'm not even gonna try and stand that up. It does stand up. It's just, it takes a little bit of work, especially because of the way the feet are. And then finally, something that was not actually released this year, it was at least 2 years ago. I passed on it. My review for this should be going up within the next week as well. And that is the NECA TMNT cartoon Slash and Leatherhead 2-pack. I don't have Slash here because I have it somewhere else that was inaccessible to me at the moment. But this is Slash, and Slash is really my favorite turtle that isn't Leo. And yeah, I actually saw one of these in store and passed on it, and I regretted it, not immediately, but certainly after I thought about it for a while. And it's weird that, like, as the regrets started getting really strong, NECA had announced, or not, they didn't even announce. I saw someone mention that they saw the tag on a shelf in Target for Haulathon that these might show up on a shelf, and all of a sudden they went up online. I was able to pre-order it, and I got it. And that's just this weird thing. So NECA's done a lot better at getting some of this stuff out a second time, even a third or a fourth time, even if it's repaints. So yeah, really good stuff. So that's my notable acquisitions for April 2022. Whoops, fake out. As I meant to mention, there's kind of like a little addendum here, and that is something I did another vlog for earlier in the month. And speaking of the WWE Ultimate Editions, and that was just that the Kane replacement arms came in. So that is definitely a notable acquisition, as you can see here. Fixed arm and original arm, and just world of difference. So if you want to know the story about that or anything like that, check the vlog. You can see it's easy to find because just look at my vlog playlist. And so that's acquisitions. And finishing up, just some personal notes, wrap up, all that sort of thing. So yeah, not too much this week. Just saying that, my spring cleaning is still in effect, it being spring. So I'm going through my collection, looking at things that I want to sell. I put up some stuff, not as much as I want to. I think I'm going to dedicate a day and just like take pictures and put all that stuff up on eBay. So keep a look on my store in case there's something you might be interested in. And yeah, I'm trying to price things fairly, or if it seems high, I might have just put it up and I'm not expecting it to sell, but I want to just get it up there. and then I'll lower it to the price that I actually think it's worth. So, even when I put stuff up, I don't expect it to sell immediately. So wait a week or two and you might see it turn up to the price that, I need to actually sell it for. So beyond that, yeah, just as always, taking things day by day and, looking ahead to warmer weather because it's spring in New England, which means it's been cloudy every day and stuff like that. So yeah, that's living in New England. But yeah, and I guess wrapping things up finally is just shout outs, and shout outs this month are just my regulars. If I can get my screen to come back up, there we go. So, so best friend Joe, thank you so much for always being here. Thank you for being there for me. For Evil Villain, you've been here since the beginning of this channel. love talking to you on pretty much all the social media I'm still on. So, and finally Figure Trap, like, yeah, it's awesome talking to another reviewer and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you all for being here. And if you are watching this and you regularly watch and you haven't gotten a shout out, let's talk more because I really just kind of make these shout outs about, whoever I'm just interacting with the most. And, whether we talk or not, I absolutely appreciate every single one of you, especially because some of these vlogs have gotten more views than I've expected. I don't always expect these views to get anywhere above 10. And, anytime that happens, I'm just absolutely elated because, again, this is just me rambling as I'm doing now. And I am refining my process a little bit, at least I hope so. So, hopefully these are somewhat entertaining or at least good background noise. I mean, I know my voice isn't very dynamic here, which is why, when I do music, I focus on actually vocalizing differently to get those dynamics. I don't really do that here because that'd be slightly weird even for me. So I just hope that I'm doing a nice even keel and it's, at the very least relaxing to listen to. So yeah, thank you all for being here. And with all that being said, I hope I will see you next month and I'll have a bunch of exciting reviews coming up. So please check those all out. And as always, be kind to yourself, be kind to those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.